Hello, I am Sandra Roberts. I'm the owner and lead programmer for our new software, ReposeMemorialManager. This software is in its development stages. Therefore, any suggestions or comments are greatly appreciated. The database engine is Microsoft SQL Server. The front end is Microsoft Access. With Access as the front end, with one click of a button, you can import any report into Excel. You can also use Microsoft Word and merge with the database to create Word merge documents, which is a wonderful sales tool. You may use PowerPoint or any other Microsoft Office Professional product and integrate with the database. This gives you more power with the system to do more than what we've written. The first field is the Accounting Customer ID field. This is not a required field, but it is a field to try to help you coordinate between your accounting system and the Repose system. This may be a customer ID number that is in your Peachtree, QuickBooks, or any other accounting system. This field is searchable, and if you do not need this field, it can be hidden. The name field is the name that's on the contract. Once you've entered in a name, this name field is locked. The reason why the fields are locked is to prevent accidentally changing the name, deleting the name that is associated with contracts. But say, for example, I now know that the middle initial of John Baker is a W. I go here, I unlock the fields, and I can now go in that field and add the W. I could also go here and add if he was a junior. Here now is my address fields. This is a quick key system, so after I enter in the address, it will pop over to the zip code. Once I type in the zip code, it will automatically populate the city and the state. In this example, we have a P.O. box. So when I go into this button, it allows me to put the residence address of the person who is the main purchaser. I keep up with the residence address as well as the Social Security number and the birth date, so in case I ever have to send this to collections. The phone options allow you also to put in cell phone, work phone, and also an email address. To the right here are the flags. The flags tell us what type of purchaser we have. If it's checked as a purchaser, that means that they are the main name on a contract. If, for example, I assigned a co-purchaser, maybe Susan Baker, she would be in the system, but she would not be checked as the main purchaser because she is a co-purchaser. But if at a later time, she has a contract under her name, you would not enter her name again. You would simply find her name, and when you would enter in a contract, it would automatically check this field because now she is not just a co-purchaser on one contract, she's the main purchaser on her contracts. The funeral home flag lets us know if the main purchaser is under a funeral home. This affects how the statements are printed. Instead of printing a statement per each contract for that funeral home, it can combine all the contracts that are outstanding in one statement for that funeral home. The bankruptcy account flag. If this is checked, then this is letting us know that this person has submitted bankruptcy. Therefore, any outstanding balances, you know you are not going to receive any more information on those or any more funds. So when you go to print statements, mass statements, their statement will not automatically be included in that because it is a bankruptcy account. The tax exempt flag. If this is checked and you create a contract, the sales tax will not be computed. Now, if I look here, I can tell that I have two contracts under the name of John Baker. See down here it says one of two. I can go and I can look at this second contract. I can have multiple contracts under his name. Here telling me my counselors. Counselors are your third-party resellers. You can have up to 2, like I could enter in 1 here, and the plus here is if I'm doing a split. Salesperson. If you see here, in my office, I have Kate Roberts and I have a split. If I go in there and it's showing me that Kate is splitting that commission with Sandra. My store locations. I can have multiple store locations. Here you can see in my sample I have 3. Depending on the store location, when I go into merchandise and I select those line items, it shows me the pricing per that store location. The order type. If you have multiple businesses, you can be able to accommodate for multiple businesses. Since this contract is a memorial contract, it will only show me merchandise items that are under the category of memorial. If I had selected building products, then when I went to select my line items for merchandise, it would only show those building products. Here's my order date, June the 4th, and this is when I had my invoice date. I want to show you how this kind of works. So I'm going to, right now, I'm going to delete the invoice date so you can see how it will look before you make it into an invoice. Notice when it doesn't have an invoice date, it says order and it has an O in front with my number. Any funds that I receive from the customer are put into a holding account under this order number until it becomes an invoice. So when I enter that invoice date, it changes to invoice with an up. And then it also, those funds are automatically transferred over into my regular account. Now this invoice number is an auto-generated number unless you turn that feature off. But each contract number must be unique. If it is not unique, the system will tell you that this is a non-unique contract and it will not let you proceed until you create a unique contract number. If at any point in time you fear that maybe you have lost your sequence in your contract numbers, like this number right here after the year is a sequential number, you can always go in and you can check to see what the next available invoice number is, and you can edit that. Why would you do this? There may be a case where you have deleted a contract and you're re-entering it again. You don't want it to take the next one. You want it to go back to the previous one. So you're going to do a manual override of that contract number, and then you would go in and readjust for the next available contract number. More details on this auto generator is in the clip for the auto generator for order and invoice number. Also, additional information about the commission is in the sales commission clip. At this point, I will stop this clip and get ready for the second part of the purchasing clip.